study here at our church, but we also share a beautiful connection. We are married and have two beautiful children together. And this past summer, we had the opportunity to go on a mission trip together, our first mission trip together. And we were also blessed to be able to bring our boys. And so this afternoon, I just kind of wanted to get a feel and maybe a perspective of what you thought our mission trip accomplished. You were a spiritual advisor on the trip. You encouraged us to have journey partners, and we studied every night after each day of projects. So we just want to hear a little bit from your perspective.
Yeah, thanks, Lynn. It was a fantastic experience. As you know, Loma Linda's kind of always been synonymous with worldwide efforts to bring the gospel, whether it's through worship, through study and prayer, through community and through service, which are the core values on which this church is built on. But rarely do we have an opportunity to get all of those core values melded into one event. And I think that's what was really special about this mission trip, folks. We worshiped together. We were at a church in Loma, which was fantastic. We also worshiped with kids in different schools and different settings. And as a community, as a mission community, we worshiped every night, as you're mentioning. Obviously, prayer was central to everything we did, both in our attempts to prepare the logistics of the trip and once we were there. And as well, when we've left, we've maintained some wonderful connections with the people over there. And we're hoping that the event and what we built there bears some fruit. Obviously, community was central. Popcorn and soda and long conversations around fire and talking with our guides, some of which had actually killed lions, which was amazing. It built a really nice community where by the end, the kind of these divisions that we always have between, those who are there to help and those who are being helped completely disappeared. We cooked food with our hosts in the restaurant. We sang with them, we learned with them, we talked with them. And so community was central. And obviously service. We did some amazing work, hopefully. I heard about stories about people that have to travel hours on the back of a moped and then come and deliver a baby. And because they're needed at home, 30 minutes after delivery, they're out the door. And the fact that we were able to collaborate in creating a space where there can be some recovery, where that bonding between a mother and a child can occur, which is so foundational, I think was a great project.
Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Ureach did, our mission trip was to Kenya. We visited Mara West. There's a camp there, Mara Mission, African Mission. And we joined efforts with them, with the Aho family. And we went to go help finish a women's clinic. And then we also did VBS at some schools there. And like you mentioned, Miguel, we got to worship with the local church there. And getting there was quite an adventure. I mean, starting from here, from LAX, to getting to Mara West was definitely an adventure. Nothing of what we were, I think, expecting. But it just really gave us a perspective of how different people live and yet how they adjust and are so thankful for the little they can receive. And so I know part of what you and I did every day, we also had a vision clinic that was being taken place. But part of where you and I were every day was in the construction site. And so we every day were lifting bricks and cementing them and putting up walls. And we got to do that with our children. And I know you and I have been able to unpack this a little bit together at home, but I just wanted to share with our audience this afternoon from maybe not just a pastor perspective, but from a parent perspective, how was it for you being able to serve with the boys and myself under the sun every day, lifting bricks all day long?
Yeah, that was fun. These hands build. I know it's unbelievable, but these hands do build. It was just, I think when we recognize that our world is much smaller than we think it is, we see these vast differences between the way we live and the way other people live, and the value systems that we have and the value systems that other people possess, and the challenges. And once you start stripping all of that away, you realize that people are people.
Yeah.
And so whereas I love to see both our kids engaged in kind of working at the construction site, that probably wasn't my favorite part. My favorite part was, as you know, as you were mentioning, every morning we would get to go to VBS, and part of that was we played together. And it was just so moving to see both our boys running in a field in a setting that looks nothing like what they're used to, but just being kids and encountering other kids. And I think that's the power of service. The power of service is that it, both for churches and for individuals and for families, it just shrinks our world. And once our world has shrunk enough, all these divisions and all this anger and all this animosity that you start to see, they start melting away.
Yeah, I agree. These hands build too, but they much rather sing and play. So for me, I would say the VBS part was also a blessing, just to be able to sing with the kids. They were really into the music. We had Israel and Ian playing guitars, and they had music, and it was just really lovely to be able to see that we come from such different parts of walks of life, but there's something that's always going to unite us, and that is that we all want to sing about Jesus's love. And I thought that was beautiful to be able to see our boys singing and participating with kids, from across the world. And obviously, the safari was incredible. Amazing. So as a whole, as a trip, we were blessed. I know I was blessed, not just by the project, obviously, but by your spiritual guidance on that trip of creating these connections with people that I had never really met from our church, from our young adult community. And so I thank you for coming with us, not just as my husband, but willing to work on the trip as well as our pastor and our spiritual advisor. But folks, we are going back to Kenya this coming June. And if you are interested in joining us, Miguel and I will be going again, and our team at Ureach will be coming again, and we'll be hosting more eye clinics, VBS, and we're going to be putting water filters at some of the schools that we visited because, as we found out, they collect rainwater, and that's what the kids drink. That's how they wash their dishes and cook. And so we'll be hopefully bringing in water filters to put at the women's clinic and at the schools that we visited there so they can have clean and safe water. So if you'd like to join us this coming June of 2024, please visit our website at ureachlluc.com to sign up. We promise you it'll be worth it.
It is transformational, folks. And I think of all the trips we've been on in our time here, we've been all over the world and we've had these amazing opportunities. Kenya has by far been my favorite because it combines everything that we are as a church. And it's this formational journey that is so important that God has called us on. So we had people that are really young on the trip.
Yes.
So people are often asking how young. Our boy was 6 and he did great. And we had people that were, well, not as young.
Yes.
So we also had some older people. Really, age doesn't matter. What matters is your commitment to just help and to serve and to, like we said, shrink your world into this village. So please, Linda just invited you to join. I would love to see you there. I know you would love to see folks there. If you're not from our church, that's okay. We have people from other churches. It's going to be transformational. We promise, and perhaps, and just perhaps, God will speak to you as you look at lions tigers and bears, oh my.